Wishing for a Christmas mortgage miracle? Patriot Trading Group wants to make your wish come true. Just enter to win on Family Values Radio website, and you can enjoy your mortgage paid for all of 2020. That's right. It's the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, where if you win, you'll have all kinds of extra money the entire year for a vacation, new clothes, new giant screen TV with whole home audio, whatever else may be on your wish list, because the winner will receive their mortgage or rent payments covered for all of 2020. To enter, go to FamilyValuesRadio1010.com and click on the banner. Enter once each day to increase your chances to win and look for bonus entry opportunities. That's FamilyValuesRadio1010.com and enter the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, sponsored by Patriot Trading Group. Contest ends December 20th. See our website for details.
Yeah, good morning and welcome. Happy Friday, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. You know what we do. Yes, the physical delivery of wealth insurance, gold and silver, that old antiquated idea that it's actually something real, something you can touch. It's not a promise to pay. You don't have to worry about it restating earnings or having to pay for 4 ex-wives or any type of SEC investigations or trade wars or fake news. Gold and silver, it is what we do. The website at allamericangold.com and the number, once again, 800-951-0592. It is Friday, and it is playoff season here in the Valley of the Sun. The high school football playoffs start today. I pumped up my kid, my youngest. He's a junior. We've most of you know, and I know it doesn't have anything to do about what we do, but I like to brag about my kids. And my other son plays football in college. My younger son is on his way to doing the same, and we're trying to capture a state title. It starts today. I've been firing off texts, because I get to work early, so my kid's still asleep, and already this morning I've been firing off the text. He's already replied with, "Dad, calm down. Calm down." And so there it is. So anyway, good luck to the Saints tonight. Good luck to all the teams playing, all the kids out there. Sports today it's in danger. Before we get to all of this, we got a great show lined up for you. It's a great day. Listen, great day to buy. We'll get to it. But when you think about where we are today, and think about when we all do it. Remember when we went to school and you look back? My high school, and I lived in 2 places between when I started school and when I graduated high school. I grew up in Syracuse, and I went to high school in Iowa. Even in Syracuse, and we had a junior high, actually it was called a middle school because it had 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in it. We had wood shop. We had tackle football. Yep, we played tackle football in middle school for the school, along with all the other sports. I mean, you had them all, tennis, baseball, golf. You had all the sports. You had art class, music class, shop, the high school you had shop, auto mechanics. They even had a class where you did electrical wiring. All these things and all these options, and all of those are gone today. I mean, we have a few schools isolated here in town that may offer like a woodshop class, but that's about it. The vast majority, there's none of those. Art's long gone out of the elementary schools, right? The sports programs, no more freshman anything coming to Arizona. Right? No more freshman basketball teams, football teams, soccer teams. They're just getting rid of it. And the thing is more and more of these things get taken away. And listen, I get it, right? Everybody, all the teachers want to strike, and everybody wants more money. We all want more money. But you know what never happens because they got us brainwashed. They got us dumbed down. right? Don't they? They just fooled us. It's just that things cost so much more. You know, you read all this, all the teachers got to buy art supplies and this and that. When you send your kid back to school, there's a list. Hey, here's all the stuff you need to bring. Right? You used to show up with a couple of pencils and an eraser in your lunch pail. You know, now you got to show up with your toilet paper, your paper towels, your dry eraser markers, and all these other things, baby wipes. Plus, you got to have all your supplies. You know, I you know, the school used to, when I was growing up in elementary school, you didn't even bring paper to school. It was there for you. You needed, as you got older, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, you started to do graphs. Right? They gave you the graph paper. Now you got to do, I only bring that up because my youngest had to drive to Office Max because he needed graph paper for physics. And somehow my wife didn't have it, which is a shock. She's got everything. But that's a whole different story. But I just, you know, we're talking about the playoffs starting. And even that, the money that you got to pay, the kids got to pay to get it. Everyone's got to pay to get in the game because the AIA that puts it on needs the money, right? It used to be at least that, you know, you think, hey, the kids get in for free. Not playoffs. Nope. Everyone's got to pay. Everyone's got to pay. It's just sad. Really, really is. And who did it all? Really, who did it? Who did it? How did this happen? Why are we sitting there and they're talking about, oh, we need education? Look at the cost of college. Ben Bernanke went to Harvard for $4,000. But I know how much Harvard costs because they're one of the schools recruiting my younger son. By the time you total it up in room and board, right? We don't live there. He's got to live in the dorms. You're talking over $72,000. By the way, Ben Bernanke started Harvard, 1971. I was born in 1970. $4,000. Let's just make it easy. $4,000, $74,000. Where did that $70,000 come from? Right? Where's the? I guess the degree must be better today, right? Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't touch that dial. Welcome to Friday. We're back, 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. What a day. What a week. The amount of, Eric and I talked about it a little bit yesterday about all the fake news. This week, it's record-setting. The big talk Wall Street-wise. Okay, there's all kinds of others, whistleblowers and even the news about Pence yesterday and all this other stuff that's out there. But Wall Street, they've been harping on this trade deal all week long. Took gold down. Silver's been massacred. And I say massacred, really, it's down. Actually, at the low. It's not there anymore. At the low, somebody took $1.50 off of silver this week. Now, I say somebody. You know who it is. I know who it is. And the one thing that I hadn't heard all week was, where's Trump? Where's the tweets? Because, let's face it, if it was true, he would have been all over it, right? Let's face it, we know what the president is and what he isn't. If he had set up a trade deal with China, we would have known it. Am I right? I mean, he would have tweeted that out, and we would have heard how great President Xi is and what a great man he is, and he wrote me a beautiful letter, and we reached this great deal. It's going to be great for America. All you farmers that have filed bankruptcy, I got you, and thank you very much, and you're welcome, and all that stuff, right? He would have gone full-blown narcissist, and that's okay. But we didn't get it. And I kept looking because all these people, like, even today, there's a headline out there about China's top negotiator wants Trump reelected. And then I opened it up because I know who I don't know how to pronounce their names, but I know who they are. And, of course, when you open it wasn't a top negotiator. It wasn't even a negotiator. It was a former guy who, I don't even know. But again, it doesn't matter. That was the headline. Wasn't true, but it didn't matter. And yesterday, right, we had stocks at all-time highs, and you had some guy that he looks Chinese. I'm sure he probably was. That I had never seen or heard of, talking about how we had reached this deal to roll back tariffs and all this stuff. And I'm like, I keep waiting on Twitter. Eric follows Trump, right? And we're waiting. Nothing. And then, of course, today. Now, listen, Donald likes Wall Street going up, so he didn't say anything. But today he finally had to admit, listen, none of that's true. But let me tell you what's happened. What was it, about 3 weeks ago, gold bottomed at $1,458. Remember, and then it rallied all the way, but it went all the way back. Well, you got to 15, something like that. And then, of course, this week, gold got routed yesterday, all on that news yesterday. None of it was true, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. Listen, don't be upset about it. I'm not. I mean, would you rather pay more or less for your gold? Now, if you have to sell, it stinks, right? You never like to do that. But if you're buying gold, today's the day. So yesterday, it went all the way to $1,458. Because that's what they do, right? This tells you these are pre-programmed, computer-traded events, and somebody was behind it. And I didn't know who. Of course, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this got Larry Kudlow written all over it. And then I'm watching the action in the metals, and I didn't see it until today. And today it all made sense. So yesterday it hits 1458, actually closed right near 1470, because late in the day, news kind of broke that nobody could confirm with Trump about the tariff thing. Right? And I'm thinking, like you didn't already know. Trump's not going to, let me tell you right now, here's what isn't going to happen if there ever is a deal. Nobody but the president is going to say it first. Right? He's not going to let the Chinese scoop him, right, on this news. So this morning, and this of course is after the fact, J.P. Morgan lets it be known, hey, we're shorting gold, and really they what they did is they shorted silver hard. And before Trump would confirm today that none of the things they said all week are true, silver went all the way down to about 1660. Think about, I mean, silver was like 18 and a quarter early, to start the week, down to 1660, back to 17 again. Which, by the way, you know how much I hate silver because it's heavy. Great buy. Gold this morning went right back to that 1458. So we had the test 3 weeks ago. We double tested it yesterday. We triple tested it today. And then, of course, the news break, it's not true. Gold right now is 1470 right now. So we're all back to where we were yesterday. Of course, haven't made up yet. We'll see how the day finishes out here. All the losses from yesterday. But listen, before everybody figures out that and again, I think J.P. Morgan with Larry Kudlow, they were behind the whole thing. right? In a way, this is my opinion. I can't prove it. And they got the Chinese. The Chinese were probably, I'm looking at China. I'm like, what did they have to lose? Hey, let's send out the B team guys. We'll call them, the news media is going to call them top trade negotiators. One of the guys isn't even a negotiator. He's an ex-guy that used to work cases for the WTO for the Chinese. They're not even involved. The guy that they dragged out and were quoting made all these statements, I don't even know who he is. I'm going to assume he's one of the B- players on the negotiating, if he's even on it. Right? And they ran it up, and J.P. Morgan was sitting there like they love to do, shorting the snot out of the silver markets, taking the gold markets with it. Great. Listen, you got to give them credit. And then this morning, the president finally had to come out and say, we haven't agreed to anything. He doesn't want to, but he's got to douse down 100. We'll have to wait and see. But here's the good news, right? Gold is, $40 cheaper today than it was on Monday. All on what? So J.P. Morgan can make a few bucks shorting metals. I mean, that's just my spin. Right, all set up, nice and neat. We didn't get any. You didn't hear the Chinese president. You didn't hear Trump. You didn't hear Peter Navarro or Lighthizer or any of our top guys. You didn't hear any of their top guys. And I don't know if you saw CNBC all day yesterday. China says U.S. agrees to roll back tariffs. I was headline all day. And I'm glad, I got to give the president big props today. And, listen, I like Trump. You know that. Do I love him? I don't love him, but I like him a lot. I'll vote for him again. By the way, see Michael Bloomberg? Yeah. Somebody that's not in the field is going to be the guy or gal running against Trump. It's not going to be who's out there now. There's going to be somebody like Bloomberg. Just goes to show you these billionaires don't want to pay anything. Because let's face it, what's the one thing Elizabeth Warren has said, whether you like her or not, is irrelevant. Hey, I'm taxing the dog snot out of these billionaires who've said they go on TV and say it every day, oh, yeah, I want to pay. Sure, just send me a bill. I'll pay it. Yeah, well, guess what? Elizabeth Warren was sending bills, and all of a sudden, hey, Bloomberg, get up there. You go run, right? Hey, how do you protect billionaires? You guessed it. Elect other billionaires to be your president and call them Democrats. But nonetheless, they set this all up. I mean, using the media, they'll report anything now, right? It just doesn't matter. Anything. There's no more fact-checking, right? Hey, maybe we should call, I don't know, Robert Lighthizer. Ask him. How about if somebody get Peter Navarro? I know they know how to get a hold of him. Peter Navarro goes on CNBC at least every other week. I know they know his phone number. Shoot him a text. Hey, Pete, Jim Cramer here. Booyah. Hey, is this true about the rollbacks? Right? No, they don't want to do that. I love it. I mean, I when I say it's exciting, right? And you're sitting there watching and the thing is, this is how you're supposed to take your hard-earned money. Because let's face it, we work hard, right? We work hard. And we want to provide for our families, right? We want to put a roof over our head. We want to make our car payments, right? We want to own a home, which is almost impossible to do anymore. Pay our debts, right? And hopefully at the end of the day, save a few bucks. We'd like to be able to retire. Notice how slowly that narrative has changed too, right? Now you see the headlines now, and this is how they do it. 30% of people, 40% of people, 50% of people say they're never going to retire, right? They condition you, right? And now you see articles, 60, retiring at 65, oh, that's old. That's out of date now, right? That's no longer applicable, right? Again, conditioning. You know, and they conditioned us for decades, right? Remember the 401k. Boy, and I know and nobody likes to hear how much they swindled us. You know, we had pensions. See, the problem with pensions is they're expensive. The problem with pensions is, man, I don't want to let these people go, because I need them to pay into the pension to pay for the people that have already retired, right? And you know what? I can't move my jobs overseas if I'm bogged down with all these pension costs. And how can I go out and buy billions of dollars of my own stock back if I got to pay for pensions? How am I supposed to give myself a $30 million bonus if I got to pay all these pensions? And when the people that created that beautiful 401k, do you know why? And I've told this story before. Do you know why they created it? They created it because they were worried as they were looking at reality, okay, seeing what the money printing central banks were doing. Because the 401k was invented in the 80s. Most people don't realize that. It hasn't been around that long. But it was supposed to be a supplement to Social Security and pension. Because they're like, you know what? Just Social Security and a pension probably isn't going to be enough. Instead, what did Wall Street do? Let's just get rid of the pension.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
Liberal groups like the National Education Association have been pushing for liberal indoctrination in our public schools for many years. It's sad to say, but many of us have gotten used to seeing news stories about revisionist history classes painting America as a hopeless cesspool of racism and sexism. The indoctrination quickly spread to science classes, where students were subjected to global warming hysteria. Then to English classes, where students were forced to read vulgar liberal propaganda rather than real literature. You might have thought the indoctrination would stop there, but now not even math classes are safe. The Seattle Public School District has launched a new course called, quote, Math Ethnic Studies, end quote, to expose the alleged racism and sexism in math. It starts by discussing the mathematicians who made significant contributions to mathematics in the various nations throughout the ancient world. Nobody has a problem with that, but they go off the rails when they say Western civilization appropriated math and made themselves the only legitimate expression of mathematical identity and intelligence. It's ludicrous to say any culture stole math from another culture. That's like saying I stole math from my teacher in high school. Math isn't something you steal. It's something you learn. The propaganda doesn't stop there. The Math Ethnic Studies course then preaches to the children about how math has been used to oppress and marginalize people in communities of color. The students also hear how math has been used to exploit natural resources and how math dictates economic oppression. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Math is not racist. Math is not sexist. Math doesn't want to destroy the environment or oppress anybody. If liberals are so concerned about math being used to create economic oppression, maybe they should give capitalism a try to see if the numbers look any better for them there. 2 + 2 = 4, no matter what your political philosophy is. But our children will never learn that if public schools spend their time talking about how math is racist rather than just teaching math. Something about all of this just doesn't add up.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. It's no secret that globalists are bent on destroying Western culture. Whether the threat comes from inside or outside our borders, America must be protected from cultural Marxism and those who would deny American sovereignty. We're seeking your insight at phyllisschlafly.com. That's phyllisschlafly.com. And join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. I'm going to keep it real simple today. U.S. $20 Liberty gold pieces, $15.10. Gold right now is what, $14.69. $15.10. Buy 10 or more, $1,500. Put your cost at what, $31 over spot? Yeah, hello. 800-951-0592. Where do I get that deal? Yes, please. This was out of Zero Hedge today. They were quoting, if you ever saw the HBO series True Detective, I will say this. I watched that series. Season 1 of that series, if you've never seen it, incredible. Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey were the two main characters in it. It's a very dark subject matter. Let me say that. This is definitely not for kids. But Matthew McConaughey's character, guy was Rustin Cole. That was the character's name. He had a catchphrase in this movie. Now, I don't know. My guess is it's a quote from somebody else, but I don't know from who. Time is a flat circle. Everything we have done or will do, we will do over and over and over again forever. History repeats itself. That's why I always like to go back. Notice how when I try to educate you on different things, I go back. We go back to history. Why do I like old gold? Why do I like the older 20s and 10s and 5s versus gold eagles or maple leafs or buffaloes? And the answer is simple. They're more private. So I like private. Right? We all like private. Right? Now, since we live here depending on your country of origin, because remember we do the check it in thing. I have to get back to because a bunch of more people have checked in. I'll get to you next week. But we have listeners, in Canada, in Sweden, in Russia, in Ukraine, Australia, all over the world. Make sure you know the tax laws that in your country. Most tax laws will favor your country of origin when dealing with precious metals. In other words, we live here in the U.S., if you live here in the U.S., buying U.S. minted materials is the safest, most private way to go. People ask all the time about bars, gold bars, silver bars. I don't recommend that because, number one, the tax laws are much, much different. When selling, because it's one thing about buying, but remember, in all transactions, there's buying and selling. Sooner or later, somebody wants to sell that gold or silver back. So it's always important to know what the tax ramifications are going to be. When you deal in non-U.S. minted material, anything over $10,000, and I don't care what it is, a gold bar, a maple leaf, a Krugerrand, right? I have to 1099 you. That's the law. By law, we have to issue you a 1099. Now, who wants that? Nobody. So when you buy U.S. minted material and you want to sell back, whatever, pick a number. Say 10. Say you buy 10 of these today. Okay, I got them on 1 through 9 at $15.10, 10 or more $1,500 on these $20 Liberties. and you buy 10 of them. And let's just say next year, gold's $2,000. And you decide, you know what, hey, I did pretty good, and I need to, you know what, I'm going to buy a house, or I'm going to do something, whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm going to buy a business. And you call me up and say, hey, Joe, I want to sell these. Right? And you're like, okay, well, it's going to be somewhere around, $20,000. And I'm just going to write you a check and tell you have a great day. Now, does that mean you don't have to pay taxes? No, there's always capital gains tax, and consult your accountant for those rules. But there is no 1099 for me. There's nothing. If you buy it legally, we keep all of our records. By law, we have to keep them for 5 years. If you bought gold from us in 2000 and you never bought from me again, and you call up and ask Arlene, hey, can you tell me what I got? You know what she's going to tell you? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't have you. And so you kind of have that honor system that's working there. And you get that with all U.S. minted gold coins. So you get that with a gold eagle as well as the older gold. What's the difference then? Why not? Of course, I'll always tell you, buy the cheaper one, right? That makes good sense. Buy as close to spot as possible. And today, that's the $20 gold pieces. But there's one other difference. The government doesn't view the coins the same way. They consider the gold eagles and the buffaloes, and also they also consider all the foreign gold, the gold bars, as bullion. The older gold, the pre-33s, are considered collectibles. Now, why does that matter? Well, it doesn't unless you go back to the past. And to quote again Detective Cole, right, about talking about time being a flat circle and everything we've ever done and will do, and we'll do it over and over and over again forever. The government always gives their rich buddies a loophole. When they confiscated gold in 1933, there was only one type of gold you could keep, unless you had a dentist office because you had gold teeth. They could have some gold. If you were an artist and you were going to make a sculpture with gold, you could have some gold. But that was about it. Everybody else, it was illegal to own it after 1933. All the way up until the 70s, couldn't own it. Unless you had collectible gold coins. Now, is the government going to confiscate gold again? Oh, yeah. Over and over again. You know they will. Are they going to leave the collectibles out? I don't know. I can't guarantee it. But history tells me it's going to repeat itself, and that's why I like old gold. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break.
Someone once told me time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again.
There it was. That was Matthew McConaughey, True Detective. Ramon's on it. Over and over and over. I started the show by telling you today is a great day to buy, because time is a flat circle. So Peter Navarro, you know what's so funny is he didn't come on CNN or CNBC. I don't know why. He should have. But anyway, let me tell you what I mean. The last big opportunity in gold occurred at the end of April. The end of April, right? The trade deal was 90% done, remember? We're almost there. We can have a deal by next week. Boy, if you could have gone back then and bought gold, right? You'd have been like, yeah. I mean, gold's up like, I don't know, $250 since then. I mean, that's how great of an opportunity it was. And so this week we've got the same thing, didn't we? Oh, yeah, we've reached the deal. We're going to roll everything back. So when you think about it, first we had the anxiety, right? Go back to, when the trade war first came out, we had that anxiety about it. Now we got anxiety about phase one. Now it's going to be a phase thing. Followed by rumors that the two sides might be able to work something out, right? We kind of heard the rumblings, kind of like going back to April and going, March of, hey, we're close. Followed by false reports that a multi-phase deal had been struck. Right, go back to April. The deal's 90% done. Right, we could be next week. Followed by now the White House pouring cold water all over these rumors, insisting that the two sides are nowhere near a deal to remove all U.S. trade war tariffs. Of course, we knew what happened after the almost had a deal, right? The trade war all of a sudden seemingly ramped back up. Peter Navarro, one of our, when you're talking about, okay, who do you want to listen to? When it comes to the U.S. side, there's only three guys. Lighthizer, Navarro, Trump. That's it. And by the way, if there's going to be a deal, it's going to be Trump. Navarro had to come out on TV and say that, there's the odds, at least talking down the odds of any lifting of tariffs, saying that they are the critical point of leverage. Listen, again, China's not going to do it. And this is the point. I know, listen, JP Morgan wants you to buy stock. You can. I mean, that I don't want to be mean about it or rude about it. I think you should own stocks. But they're way overpriced. I mean, we're talking about, we're pretty much back to .com level type PE ratio. They're crazy. Get in on this gold market. You're going to be glad. This is not going to end the way these people on TV were telling you this week. It's not ending that way. China is a communist country. They've put it down. They want to be a superpower. And the way their society works, anything you create is ours, period. And all as we need to do is say, give it to us. That's the rules in China. You want to go to China, that's the rule, period. And oh, by the way, if you want to hide things from us, in other words, hey, you're over here and you're building, and I don't know, cell phones, right? And you have other technologies for other things, but you don't bring them over here. We don't care. We'll try to steal them. Because you know what? That's good for the state. That's good for China. And quite frankly, that's all China cares about. And now today, Peter Navarro's got to come out and say, dude, we can't take these tariffs off. The second we take these tariffs off, China wins. There are tariffs that are coming in December. This is Peter Navarro this morning. We would be willing, I think, again, it's up to the president to postpone those tariffs. Yeah, the December 15 ones but not roll back any other existing tariffs. It's just that simple. That's our offer. And of course, everyone's talking about we're rolling back Septembers and rolling back this and that. Listen, the second we do, we lose. And I don't know how it got to that point, but yet there it was all week this week. Almost everything you heard was wrong. Just not right. It's not accurate. But this is how you're supposed to invest. This is how you're supposed to protect your wealth. Listen, this is why I say it over and over and over and over again. It's not doom and gloom. It's not. But it's just like my good, the guy, I don't want to call him my good friend. I'm not his friend. He doesn't even know who I am. But Ray Dalio said it greatly this week. They're selling dreams instead of looking at what real earnings are. Be careful out there. And while you're doing it, put some more gold away. Because you know what? The central bank, they're just going to keep printing more money. And that just means gold goes higher, period. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Final segment coming up. Eight 800-951-0592. The Dow is down about 60 points. They don't want to give up the fight. I don't blame them. Listen, they had a great week in stocks on fake news. Peter Navarro today called it Chinese propaganda. I don't know. I think it's more like J.P. Morgan propaganda. Gold's sitting here right now, 1466 right now, down $1 as the trade deal, at least according to Navarro today, very simple. Phase one, the only thing that we'd be willing to do, and even this is dependent on the president, is not put in the December 15th tariffs. That's it. That everything else he said would have to be phases 2 and 3. So we'll see. Again, I love the buying opportunity. 1458 held once, twice, 3 times. Which usually, and of course, who knows, but the computers usually like that kind of stuff. U.S. $20 gold pieces, 1 through 9 at 1510, 10 or more, 1500, 800-951-0592. Got 3 lines still open, so take the time before you head out for the weekend. Put some more gold away, getting it for $30, $40 over spot. Just huge value. By the way, a quick shout out. I was meant to do this earlier. A California brewer. I guess my guess is they're making that fancy pants beer. There are some conservatives out there in California and conspiracy theory people. Tactical Ops Brewing out of Fresno, California, is printing a message on the bottom of all of their cans that says Epstein didn't kill himself. So if you want to check that out, Tactical Ops Brewing, they're on the bottom of their cans. They're putting that message that Epstein, of course, talking about, our good friend there with the Clintons, who allegedly hung himself in prison. It's on their Basher Oatmeal Stout. I have no idea what that is, but again, if you like Basher Oatmeal Stout, give those guys a ring. Tactical. What was it? I lost their name. Yeah, Tactical Ops Brewing in California. You can get one of those Epstein didn't kill himself cans. I thought that was kind of cool, and thought I'd share that with you. Since it's a Friday, let's all start drinking. It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. Enjoy yourselves. Again, before you head out, pick up some gold, pick up some silver. You're going to be glad. Your Silver Eagle's $415. I mean, that's like $30 less than it was on Monday for a roll of Silver Eagles today. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. And before I leave you, for those of you in Colorado, we have a closing date. So we will be officially making an announcement here very, very soon. Things are set in motion here. We're getting ready to go finally put the name on the dotted line. So get ready. Great things coming to the Front Range. Patriot Radio News Hour. Everyone take care. God bless. Be safe out there. Go Saints. We'll talk on Monday.